Balls on a cinnamon. We're on, we're on.
Good morning. Bright and early Saturday in Seattle, Washington. It's 26 degrees. As you can see, we're waiting for this cold ice box to defrost a little bit to start this adventure. If you live anywhere near Seattle or the greater Seattle area, you are definitely familiar with American Music. It's an old school guitar shop. At one point, a chain actually. Andy Aldrich, who ran American Music for years, sadly passed away a few years ago. And in our community, that was a big deal. He was a really respected guy. And Liz, who works at the shop, worked with Andy, loved the guy. I mean, he's, kind of just a legend around this area. So 9 months ago, we got in touch with Andy's daughters, kind of talked about this collection that he accumulated over years of working in the industry. We did an appraisal. Now it's time to find a home for that stuff. So we're gonna go pick this stuff up in Tulalip, which is about an hour away, and we're gonna dig a little bit into this history. It's important to the Seattle music scene. We just want to honor Andy and what he brought to this area, and it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. So we're gonna head out here as soon as this window defrosts and get on our way.
All the things you want me to.
Hello, how's it going? Trevor.
Nice to meet you. Yes,
Nice
I'm
to meet
Annie.
you. Hey, you guys.
Hi.
I'm Trevor. Lauren.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. Liz.
Things that I'm asking in this song that I sing are too much to give, you might say. But I want you to know that I'm feeling quite low, 'cause it's hard when your best friend's gone away. Oh yes, it's hard when your best friend's gone away.
So when they moved here, Andy wanted to build a studio for recording and playing.
Wow.
This is his little zone.
Oh my gosh.
Just chock full of guitars.
Wow.
And then this back room, if you want to peek around the corner, is where
Oh yeah.
all the cases are.
Is this the list right here?
That is, on top there. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
That's the ones that I shared with you guys. We've sorted them in different orders.
You guys are
so-
organized, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I saw this one.
Oh, thank you. This
I like
makes
my
it a lot
spreadsheets.
easier. Yeah, thank you.
And Liz came out and we opened up all the cases one day and I took pictures of them all. And Andy and Mark were shuffling guitars around and we had the cases coming out and Liz was looking at them all.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And so that's where we got the pictures and Liz helped with the spreadsheet.
Yeah,
And
Liz
so,
did an awesome
yeah,
job too. I
Liz
went through
really
all
just-
this. It's all killer. So much personality comes out in someone's collection too. So it's been fun kind of just reviewing all this.
We grew up with him playing rock, country, jazz, classical,
Spanish classical.
folk,
Yeah.
everything.
Well, let's kind of get started here on some of these guitars.
You could just go one by one.
Yep, let's do it.
I might be able to pull in like a bench or a small
That would be
table,
helpful.
'cause,
I
like,
think
a
just
surface
having
to work on.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
Do we only have 2 amps here?
Those two, the car behind Lauren.
Perfect.
And then we have some of these smaller guys. Like this is an acoustic amp, and this is another little polytone
Cool.
teeny brute, I think.
Yeah. Okay, let's start with. I'll grab this car out. Let's get these kind of out of here.
Okay.
Not a Dualian. J45.
Oh, yep.
Cool. Well, that little banner logo reissue. Actually, it has the Gibson case, so yeah, I think the tape just got
Yeah.
extra on. But
Great.
correct case, wrong
yeah.
tape.
This is one of the ones
Sweet. Okay.
to go.
This is one of those custom shop American Music rare birds.
Yeah. And this is one of the ones we want to keep, but it does have the cool
Yeah.
American music.
Yeah, this is like they did like what
plate on
6
the
of
back.
each of these. Like they
Wow.
did a Fiesta Red, I think a Lake Placid Blue, and a Blonde.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
16th anniversary of American Music.
How cool.
I think John Cruz actually made these. Yeah.
Sweet.
many memories of Dad playing that guitar.
Yes, that one got played.
There was a guy that came into the shop with a Strat, one of the Fiesta Red Strats for a setup recently, and I was like, dude, I was like, did you buy this new? He's like, yeah, I got it from Billy Stapleton back in the
I love it. That's super cool. What's the deal with? I mean, I know he's like a small custom maker.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of.
Yeah, very
kind of
boutique.
special thing.
Yeah, 2004. That's exactly the era.
Whoa. There we go.
Yeah. BFG barely finished top.
Really?
Yeah.
Thought it was Billy
So
F.
this is
Gibbons.
I know, right? Yeah, so this is like when they carve the tops on
Yeah.
Gibsons. This is like the first phase of the CNC machine
Wow.
carving.
Need some.
And this is the kill
Does he have
switch.
where's the picture like some snakeskin boots or something? I feel like
Yeah.
I watch it.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. And did they tell me they put plastic on it, right? I was like, they could finish that. Oh, funky. One of these.
Or baritone guitar,
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Reverse
Yeah.
I
headstock.
was gonna say that's a little sharp carvings. Yeah.
Kind of cool. 24 frets. Whoa.
I think all the parts are in the part there.
Like,
Oh yeah, this is a little taken apart, huh? Or
sounds great as
falling
is. Yeah.
apart.
I think all this, yeah. So here's the tailpiece and the bridge.
Cool. It's funny how light these are.
This is the
That
Johnny
was-
Smith.
This is the Johnny Smith.
Oh, the other one was the
trick,
Tricks.
the trick,
Yeah.
okay. That one's more modern. This is from the 70s.
Okay.
I think. Maybe a bridge. This guy.
Yeah.
That's always been the royal arch top. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Even in
Yeah.
its current state, needing work.
Easy though. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, it's like that's not an issue.
This is a Ramirez Classical.
Cool.
Okay, I think those are all the ones that are going. There's one more.
Okay. Well, we just wrapped up an awesome afternoon with Annie, Lauren, and Liz, kind of going through this collection, all sorts of awesome stuff, and we started getting into some stories, but tomorrow we're all gonna meet up at the shop where we're unloading all this stuff, and we're gonna dig into Andy's story, and I'm excited to hear, you know, all the things that connect the guitars to the person and everything that surrounded him, and it'll be fun. So we're gonna pack up, get this safely to the shop, and rendezvous tomorrow, okay?
Starting, late aughts, he started to feel the symptoms of Parkinson's, and that started a 20-year decline of motor skills and cognitive capacity, and just really a brutal experience for a guitar player to gradually watch his fingers not be able to move anymore. The Tulalip area our family has always spent time in. I think that's why he wanted to have his final days out there, is it's a really beautiful, peaceful location. And he also had some musician friends who lived out there, and that's part of why he took the opportunity, he had a little more time, a little more money after selling the store, and built out a recording studio for himself and started writing more music. And I think he had some really fruitful later years of music production. He was probably the first musician in his nuclear family. And he moved around a little bit with his family, with his parents and his two younger brothers around the US, born in Illinois actually, and moved through Portland and Denver, and then eventually landed in Seattle for high school. He went to Roosevelt. That's where he picked up the guitar for the first time. Started with a band back then, and then he moved to Ellensburg. He went to Central Washington University for a while, and that's where he started several bands. He started a band called Apple Andy. This is his first one. Obviously, he was the leader. I don't know where he got the nickname Apple, but that really stuck with him for his whole life. And then Appaloosa was the second band, and they toured up and down the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, California.
He met my mom, Susan, in Ellensburg, and during that time he started working at American Music. He says sweeping the floors. I think he was working behind the counter and whatnot when it was located in Greenwood. He did buy the music store in 1981, and his partner was Reese Marin until they ultimately separated and Reese took the Bellevue store and Andy took the Seattle Fremont location. At his memorial, something that was so touching was that almost every past employee that I could think of showed up. They came with these stories of what a wonderful boss he was. You know, everyone just revered him, and it was like being part of a family. You know, Liz, who works here now, was like his other daughter, you know, and it was a really successful store for a long time.
For musicians, by musicians is the tagline that sort of sticks out. I don't know who coined that originally, but I think that's what Andy really wanted to create, was just an amazing resource for musicians. And people really cared about it and really cared about each other. A lot of deep ribbing, a lot of great jokes, a lot of pranks. It just was such a fun environment. Like, Dad had the coolest job, for sure. He was such a committed professional business owner and would work day and night, many hours in the night. He also participated in national trade associations and would go to shows all the time. He was the president of NAMM for multiple years. He self-taught everything in his life, pretty much, including most of his guitar skills. But he was constantly researching books, magazines, and I think that's probably part of why he was involved in these professional organizations. He cared so much about running a good business. He was working so hard, but also playing so hard, because the music was always ever present in the house, for sure. It was like growing up a roadie, almost. Coiled his cords and got everything unplugged and tidy and helped him schlep the amps and cases. I mean, got strong young.
I used to love to throw his picks into the sound hole. That was my fun little game, because then it was really funny. Dad had to shake it around and shake the pick out, and I thought that was really hilarious. It must have driven him crazy, but he was such a wonderful father that he was all for it, you know. That's really Dad right there. Like, to me, that is
the sheer joy on his face, the grin. Just I think loved nothing more than playing guitar. Yeah, I think that's probably the takeaway. It just really thrilled him, and I think he really loved the camaraderie of playing with friends as well. He would bring home the instruments that caught his attention, that seemed like they were from really unique special makers, these kind of boutique guitar makers. He was fascinated by those. He also had the classics, the Martins, etc. But I think he looked for just a unique take on an instrument and enjoyed seeing how they played. I think Andy is a piece of Northwest music history. Everything from selling strings to Pearl Jam to, you know, later in life, garage rock and rollers, dads, kids, everybody shopped at American music. So we're hoping that they fall into the hands of people who just really want to play and that they get some good use.